As you know, closure of an attribute set is a set of attributes which are functionally determined by the set of an attribute. If in closure set all the attributes are have been associated, it indicates that that set of attribute determines all the attributes of R. And closure of an attribute set is a very important concept to find out the canonical cover of an FD set, to find out the closure set of given FD set, and then to find out the candidate keys of R. Very important algorithm. I hope that you all understood that concept. Today, you all are going to learn about inference rule of functional dependencies or Armstrong's axiom. Okay, so there are 6 rules in Armstrong's axiom, and these rules are very helpful in taking decision whether it is candidate key or not, whether this FD holds on a given relation or not. It will help you all. Without these axioms, you can find out the candidate key of R with the help of closure of an attribute set. But if you know about all these rules, then you can find out the candidate key in a fast manner. So one by one, I am going to explain all the axioms. Axiom means statement, and that is either true or false. And theoretically, we can't prove that, but with the help of experiment, we can prove these rules. First rule is reflexivity rule. And as you all know, if beta is a subset or equal to alpha, then alpha determines beta. This is called reflexivity rule. And it is also called trivial FD. Suppose if we have roll number and name, then roll number name determines roll number. Roll number name determines name. Why? Because roll number is a subset or equal to combination of roll number name. And this is called trivial FD. So I think first rule will be clear to you all. Reflexivity rule. If you have this dependency AB determines A, it will hold on R. Why? Because A is a subset or equal to AB. This rule is called reflexivity rule. Second rule is called augmentation rule. What is the meaning of augmentation rule? If any functional dependency exists on R, and suppose that FD is alpha determines beta, then if we augment both sides by gamma, then that functional dependency also holds on R. Suppose we augment both sides of this functional dependency with gamma, then alpha gamma determines beta gamma. If alpha determines beta, then this implies alpha gamma determines beta gamma. And this rule is called augmentation rule. Why? Because we augment both sides of this FD with gamma. Then third rule is transitivity rule. As you all know, if alpha determines beta and beta determines gamma, this implies that alpha determines gamma. And if transitive dependency occurs in R, then we will remove that transitive dependency to transform that relation into third normal form. So this is called transitivity rule. These rules are called sound and complete. These are the main rules. We can say that this is the primary rule. This is primary rule. If you all know these three rules, then you can derive rest of the three rules, and that rules are called secondary rule. And these three rules is complete and sound, and with the help of these rule we can derive next three rules, and that is called derived or secondary rule, in which union rule, decomposition rule, and pseudo transitivity rule. Did you get it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sometimes question has been asked to prove these are Armstrong's axiom. Though axiom there is no written proof, but through contradiction rule or through induction rule or through explanation we can prove these rules. Okay, suppose we have to prove reflexivity rule, then you can prove in this way. And only explanation, not any mathematical proof. And we will write in the proof of reflexivity rule, proof of reflexivity rule. So through the definition of the functional dependency we will prove this. Here we will assume that T1, T2, T1, T2, these tuple pair belongs to R of capital R. Then we will write since T1 of alpha equal to T2 of alpha, and if beta is a subset or equal to alpha, then T1 of beta equal to T2 of beta, and this is the definition of functional dependency. Though, so we can say that alpha determines beta. Okay, if two tuples agree on their roll number and name values, then obvious both tuples will agree on their beta values or their roll number values, and in this way we can prove the reflexivity rule. Again, proof of augmentation rule. This proof is by contradiction, and for that we will assume that this rule is not true. Then proof of augmentation rule. Here, suppose if alpha determines beta, then gamma alpha doesn't determine gamma beta. Let us assume this thing. Okay. Now, for any two tuple pair T1 and T2 belongs to R of capital R, if T1 of alpha equal to T2 of alpha, this is equation 1, then if T1 of alpha equal to T2 of alpha, then T1 of beta equal to T2 of beta through the definition of functional dependency. But for this, if T1 of gamma alpha equal to T2 of gamma alpha, then T1 of gamma beta is not equal to T2 of gamma beta. This is the proof through contradiction. Suppose you have to prove middle finger is larger than index finger, then first you assume this is not true, means middle finger is smaller than index finger. Then you will do experiment, you will touch the wall, and then if middle finger touch the wall first, then you will say whatever we assume that is wrong, middle finger is larger than index finger. Similarly here, we suppose if alpha determines beta, then alpha gamma does not determine gamma beta. So we develop these four equations through the definition of functional dependency. Did you get it? Hello? Please let me know. Vineet Raj.
Yes, sir.
Now from third equation, see here, if T1 gamma alpha equal to T2 gamma alpha, then obvious T1 of gamma equal to T2 of gamma through reflexivity rule. If two tuple agree on their alpha gamma value or gamma alpha value, they must be agree on their gamma value. So from equation 3, T1 of gamma equal to T2 of gamma, and this is the equation 5. Okay. Now from equation 2nd and 4th, if any tuple agree on their beta value and agree on their gamma value, obvious if we will take the union, then that should be agree on their beta gamma, and T1 of beta gamma equal to T2 of beta gamma. So from equation 2nd and 5th, from equation 2nd and 5th, T1 of beta gamma equal to T2 of beta gamma. This is equation 6. Now equation 6 contradicts. Now equation 6 contradicts equation 4. this equation contradicts with this equation. So what we assume that was wrong. It indicates that if alpha determines beta, this implies that gamma alpha determines gamma beta. Did you get it?
Yes,
Hello.
sir.
Now, proof of transitivity rule. How will we prove the transitivity rule? Please let me know. With the help of reflexivity and augmentation. And here also we will use definition of functional dependency. Proof of transitivity rule. Here, if alpha determines beta, so since alpha determines beta, again if T1 and T2 tuple pair belongs to R of capital R, then for any tuple pair T1 and T2, if T1 of alpha equal to T2 of alpha, then this implies T1 of beta equal to T2 of beta with the help of definition of functional dependency. And also if beta determines gamma holds on R, then T1 of beta equal to T2 of beta, this is equation 3rd, and T1 of gamma equal to T2 of gamma, this is equation 4. Now from equation 1 and 4 we can write this T1 of alpha equal to T2 of alpha, then T1 of gamma equal to T2 of gamma, and this is the definition of alpha determines gamma and proved. Did you get it? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So this is not the mathematical proof, but with the help of definition of the functional dependency, we can explain the rules. Now, secondary rule, and these rules are sufficient, sound and complete rule. But if you know the secondary rule, then you can calculate the candidate key, you can find out the candidate key, or you can find out the canonical cover, or if you want to compare two FD sets, whether both sets are equivalent or not, then with the help of these rules, you can do the thing in a faster manner. Okay. Now see here, this is the secondary rule or derived rule, union rule. In union rule, if alpha determines beta and alpha determines gamma, then we will perform union on right hand side, and this is true. That's why we will say that this is the union rule. This is the union rule. Now tell me, how will we prove if this functional dependency holds on R if alpha determines beta and alpha determines gamma? So let us assume this is the equation 1. This is equation 2. Okay. Now in this, what will we do? We augment equation 1 with alpha. We augment equation with 1 on the both sides of the equation 1. Then alpha union alpha, alpha union alpha equal to alpha, and here beta alpha. We augment equation 1 with alpha on both sides. Then alpha union alpha, obvious, is alpha. So here alpha, and then alpha determines beta alpha, and this is the equation 3. Now second equation, we augment with beta on both sides. We augment equation 2 with beta. Then we will get beta alpha equal to beta gamma, and this is equation 4. Now with the help of equation 3 and 4, from equation 3 and 4, if alpha determines beta gamma alpha and beta alpha determines beta gamma, so through transitivity rule we can write alpha determines beta gamma, and proved. That's why we say primary rules are sufficient, sound and complete, and with the help of that primary rule we can derive union rule. Did you get it? Hello, please let me know. Vineet,
Yes, sir.
Raj.
Yes, sir.
Now what about decomposition rule? Decomposition rule is the reverse of union rule. In decomposition rule, if alpha determines beta gamma, then alpha determines beta and alpha determines gamma. And if alpha determines beta and alpha determines gamma, both hold on R, then we can get this. This is called union rule. And if we have this functional dependency, alpha determines beta gamma, and from this dependency if we get alpha determines beta and alpha determines gamma, then this is called decomposition. That's why I am saying that decomposition is a reverse process of union rule. But generally a student do mistake by this thing. If alpha beta determines gamma, then they write alpha determines gamma and beta determines gamma. This is the wrong. Only on right hand side we can perform union operations, and then we can perform decomposition operations. Did you get it? This is the wrong
Yes,
thing.
sir.
On left hand side we can't perform union and decomposition rule. Now if we want to prove from this dependency you have to derive these two, then what will you do? And again we will use primary rule, and with the help of the primary rule we will derive these things. then how will you derive this thing? You have only this thing, this dependency you have, and from this dependency you have to derive these two dependencies. So please let me know, what will you do? This is the given FD and you have to derive these two. Sometime question have been asked, given FD sets and you have to prove that whether this FD is true or not. Then if you know Armstrong's axioms, you can easily solve that problem. Vineet Raj, please let me know.
Yes, sir.
How will we prove if we have alpha determines beta gamma, and from this dependency we have to prove these two. These two dependencies hold on R. So proof of decomposition. As you all know, through reflexivity rule, we can write this thing. Beta gamma determines beta. Why? Since beta is a subset or equal to beta gamma. This is the equation 2. Then see equation 1 and equation 2. Through transitive rule, we can write alpha determines beta. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Now for this, what will we do?
Beta gamma determines gamma.
Very good. Beta gamma determines gamma, and this is the equation 3rd. And then from equation 1 and 3, through transitive rule, alpha determines gamma. In this way, we can prove the things. Now, pseudo transitivity rule. In pseudo transitivity rules, if alpha determines beta holds and gamma beta determines delta, then alpha gamma determines delta, and this is called pseudo transitivity rule. This is just like transitive rule but not transitivity rule. That's why we can say that it is pseudo transitivity rule. If alpha determines beta holds and gamma beta determines delta holds, then we can replace this beta with gamma. Alpha gamma determines delta, means alpha determines delta with the help of these. So just like transitivity rule but not transitivity rule. If here beta gamma, alpha determines beta gamma and then beta gamma determines delta, then we can say that it is transitivity rule. So how will we prove this pseudo transitivity rule? Please let me know.
Augmentation लगा देंगे पहला
Proof of
डिपेंडेंसी में.
okay. Proof of pseudo transitivity rule. So given alpha determines beta, this is equation 1, and second one is gamma beta determines delta, this is equation 2. Then please let me know, Vineet, what will
Yes, sir.
V2
सर ऑगमेंटेशन लगा देंगे गामा के साथ पहले वाले में।
augment equation 1 with gamma on both sides. Then we get alpha gamma determines beta gamma. This is the equation 3. Okay.
ट्रांजिटिव लगा देंगे।
Now from equation second and third are
थर्ड
second and third means beta gamma equal to gamma beta. So third and second, so from third and second through transitivity rule alpha gamma determines delta. This is the pseudo transitivity rule. Now I hope that you all understood why I am saying that first three rules are sound, complete and sufficient. Because if you know primary rule of Armstrong's axioms, you can derive these secondary rules. Okay. Now, one question is related to this concept. Please let me know whether it is true or false. This type of question has been asked in GATE examination and AKTU end semester examination. Very simple questions, and if you know Armstrong's axioms, you can solve this question. If you don't know Armstrong's axioms, then with the help of the closure of an attribute set, we can verify whether it is true or not. Beta, and then gamma determines delta. Then whether alpha gamma determines beta gamma, true or false. Please let me know. Beneath,
सर ट्रू होगा।
prove it.
ऑगमेंटेशन लगा देंगे गामा के साथ।
First equation, this is second equation. In which equation we will do augmentation?
फर्स्ट वन
In first equation we will augment by
गामा।
gamma. So we will write here augment equation 1 with gamma on both sides. Then we will get alpha gamma determines beta gamma. This is the equation 3. Then what will we do? Hello. Second step. What will we do in second step? Because with the help of these two dependencies, we have to derive this thing.
सर सेकंड वाले को ऑगमेंट कर देंगे बीटा के साथ।
Very good. Augment second equation with beta on both sides. Then we will get beta gamma determines beta delta. This is the equation 4. Then from equation 3 and 4 through transitivity rule we will get alpha gamma determines beta
delta.
And this is the equation, and we have to prove this thing. And in some book this is the 7th rule, and this rule is called composition rule. This is called composition rule. If we have two FDs, alpha determines beta and gamma determines delta, and if we combine left hand side and right hand side, then it will be true, or this dependency holds on R. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
This is the 7th rule. So in Armstrong's axioms, there are 7 rules. First 3 rule, reflexivity, and then augmentation and transitivity are called primary rules, and then rest of the 4 rule, union rule, decomposition rule, pseudo transitivity and composition rule are called rule. But first 3 rules are complete and sound, and with the help of primary rule we can find out the closure of an FD sets. We can find out the candidate key of any relation, and this is also called inference rule of functional dependencies. That's all about Armstrong's axioms. Now if you have any doubt related to these rules, you can ask the question. I would like to request you all, please memorize these rules, and these rules will help you solving the problem related to normalization, and find out whether two given FD sets are equivalent or not. If you don't know this rule, then also you can solve the problem, but then you have to devote more time. But if you know these Armstrong's axioms, then you can solve the problem very fast. Any question related to any topic of unit 3 which have been covered till now? If you have no question, then I am going to conclude today's lecture. Today I explained all the rules of Armstrong's axioms, and then we prove each and every rule. Though axioms we can't prove mathematically, with the help of the experiment or with the help of induction rule or proof by contradiction, we can prove whether this statement is true or not. That's why I am not saying this is the theorem. This is axioms. And axioms are a statement, and that statement is either true or false. Suppose we write any statement like this: 2 plus 3 equal to 7. So this statement is false. Now if anybody says ki proof this statement is true, then through experiment we can only prove this mathematical statement. We will write this 2 is represented by this 2 line, then 3 is represented by this 3 line, and if we'll count the lines, then we will get 5 line, and here we represent 7, then this is the false, but no mathematical proof. Sun rises in the east. This is the statement. Okay. Sun sets in the west. This is the statement. It's raining. Either true or false. No mathematical proof of these statements. That's all about Armstrong's axioms. In next lecture, I will explain about minimal cover of FD sets, and then how to find out the minimal set of any given FD sets. And very important concepts, questions have been asked in both GATE examination as well as in AKTU examination. Minimal cover of an FD sets. So there are various topics in third units. I have already covered normalization, then types of normal forms, first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, Bayes code normal form, then functional dependency, fully functional dependency, partial functional dependency, non-trivial functional dependency, and trivial functional dependencies. Then find out the closure set of an attribute set, and then algorithm for that process through which we find the closure set of an given attribute set. And today I explained inference rule or Armstrong's axiom, and I have already covered logically implied or logically inferred FDs. So suppose we have given FD sets, then by applying these rules we can find out the logically implied FD through reflexivity rule, through union rule, decomposition rule. We can find out the derived FDs, and if we combine both F and F dash, then we will get closure of an FD set. That's all about the functional dependency. Now time is over. Okay, let me download the attendance, then you may leave the session.